Ohio State football's huge win over Michigan just got even sweeter, and then they also reversed a bunch of big time narratives about their program in the process. So let's get into that. Before we get going, my name is Paul. Together with my buddy Aaron, we are the Big Ten guys talking Big Ten content every single day. If you're an Ohio State fan or a fan of any Big Ten school, take just a second, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Got a lot more Ohio State content coming. Um, Also, if this is your first time catching the show, I'm a Michigan fan. So this is a video I was hoping not to have to do today. But Aaron and I, we always put our bias aside and just try to talk football. And we're always just straight up with you. That's one thing you'll always get from us. So if you need to troll me in the comments, feel free. If you just want to give your thoughts on the game, whatever that may be, we always enjoy talking football with you guys. So comment below. But one thing that hasn't been talked about a ton yet that I really want to get into about the game is what this did for the entire rivalry. Like, I feel like for years, Ryan Day has just had the weight of the world on his shoulders because, I mean, let's face it, he's done an incredible job at Ohio State. Very few losses against anyone, but in this rivalry, you are measured by how you do against Michigan or Ohio State. And I think he took a lot of that weight off of his shoulders winning the Natty last year. Obviously, Ohio State fans still wanted to see this happen, but like people were calling for his job after the game last year. And Sherrone Moore, I feel like last year and this year, kind of was able to just get a free pass coming into the game. Like, well, this is a rebuilding team. If we win, that's great. If we lose, they're young. And the weight of the world was on Ryan Day to win this game. And by going out and winning it on the road by quite a bit and like getting rid of a bunch of huge narratives about Ohio State football that I'm going to get to here in a minute, he shifted all that weight back onto Sherrone. Like, let me tell you, in Michigan Nation right now, we're all wondering, like, is Sherrone the guy? Because this is a super talented team. I'm not going to waste your time talking a ton about Michigan, but, like, Michigan has looked bad all year. And I think the one thing Sherrone's been able to hang his hat on is, well, he beat Ohio State last year, and the team's young. But he can't, like, now he's gotten destroyed on his own field by his rival, and the pressure is all going to be on him next year. So we'll see how that affects the rivalry moving forward. One thing before I get into the narratives they got rid of that I did want to mention, I always hate to give Ryan Day credit because I really don't like him, but I was impressed with what he did after the game, stopped them from planting the flag, said we want to win with humility. That was classy from Ryan Day, so I will give him that. But talking about narratives here now, I think this entire season, what you've been hearing from the media, from Michigan fans, from everyone is this Ohio State team is not tested. This Ohio State team can't run against good defenses. Julian Sand has never played in a big game. This team's never gotten punched in the mouth. I don't know, like Michigan fans would say, like, I don't know that they can play in the snow with their commitment to the passing game and how their running game has struggled a little bit against good defenses. And every single one of those narratives is now gone. Like, Bo Jackson looked like an absolute star in that game. That, like, obviously, getting later into the game, there were some big holes there, and Ohio State was just straight up winning at the line of scrimmage. But early on in that game, they weren't. And there was that early drive. I think Ohio State's first, might have been the drive they ended up having to settle for a field goal. But Bo Jackson runs to the outside, looks like he's going to have like a 4 or 5 yard loss, put Ohio State in a negative situation, and then he just puts 3 Michigan defenders on skates, gets the edge, and has a massive gain there. And it, like, that really set the tone for the day, that Ohio State can get those tough yards in a snowy, sloppy game. They can move the ball in any sort of way. So it was big for Ohio State to see that. And then also, I think a big thing is, like, for all the talk about how Ohio State hasn't been in any close games. They haven't gotten punched in the mouth. It may not look like it if you didn't watch the game and just see the final score, but this Ohio State football team was absolutely punched in the mouth to start the game. Like Michigan goes right down the field, big chunk plays on the ground, does have to settle for a field goal, and then Julian Sain's first pass gets picked off, or second pass gets picked off, and next thing you know, Michigan's right in plus territory again. But the defense, I mean, it's such a tough defense. They hold them to a field goal again. And so now at this point, like the big house is rocking. It's starting to snow. It's 6-0. Everybody is sitting here like Ohio State hasn't been in a game like this year. Ryan Day, is he going to choke again against the Maize and Blue? And Julian Sain, like we've never seen him play in a tough, hostile road environment against a very good defense in nasty conditions. And he's 0 for 2 with a pick. Like, I think all these questions started to come in, and Ohio State answered every single one of them. Julian Sain was nearly perfect after that, hitting short throws, being decisive, getting the ball out quick, hitting Carnell Tate over the top. I mean, Michigan played pretty good defense on Jeremiah Smith, and I mean, Ohio State kind of showed in this game, like, you know what? If you want to double Jeremiah Smith and try to take him out of the game, fine. Because we can beat you with Carnell Tate. We can beat you with Max Clare. We can beat you with Brandon Innes. We can beat you on the ground with Bo Jackson and C.J. Donaldson. And they proved all of that against one of the top defenses in the country on the road. So, like I said, pains me to do this video, but you have to give credit where credit is due. And then I think if you look around the rest of the college football world this weekend, I know I'm biased as a Big Ten guy here, but it's hard to imagine a Big Ten team not winning the Natty. Like, Indiana looks like a straight-up juggernaut right now. I'm so hyped for the Big Ten championship game. You better believe I am a diehard Indiana fan this weekend. Once we get in the playoffs, I will root for the Big Ten, but if it's Ohio State versus another Big Ten school, you better believe I'm rooting for that other Big Ten school. But like you look around the rest of the country, you got undefeated Texas A&M loses by double digits to a team Ohio State beat. And a team who, I mean, they're starting to play better football, but like they've struggled with some bad teams this year. Lost to Florida, almost lost to Mississippi State. I think they went to overtime with them. And then you got Georgia really struggled, especially offensively, against a Georgia Tech team that just got torched by Pittsburgh. Ole Miss ended up winning by quite a bit, but I mean, it seems like they're about to lose their coach heading into the playoffs. They've played a lot of really bad teams and struggled with them a lot this year. Texas Tech has looked good, but it's just tough to know how tested some of these Big 12 teams are. Oregon, I think they're solid, but then you got Oklahoma really struggled with LSU. Notre Dame is going to be a tough team to beat. Wouldn't surprise me to see them go on a run again. But then you get Alabama almost losing to Auburn. Like, I just feel like these SEC schools are struggling with subpar opponents. And they like to hype themselves up and say, like, well, the SEC is just so deep. Of course we're going to struggle. We don't get to play Maryland and Rutgers and UCLA. But you see Georgia go and play Georgia Tech, and they struggled a lot more than Pittsburgh did with Georgia Tech. You see, like, Pittsburgh hung 42 on that Georgia Tech team, and Georgia could only put up 16. You see Bama lose by double digits to Florida State at the beginning of the year. Like, they're not looking good against non-SEC opponents either. So I really think right now it's Ohio State, it's Indiana, and then there's a significant gap before you get to everyone else. We'll see if, like, a Notre Dame or an Oregon, maybe one of these SEC schools surprises me, but to me, it's going to be Indiana or Ohio State. So, should be a big-time game this Saturday. We'll be covering it. Let me know what you guys think on all that and anything about the game you want to say, and then don't forget, just like and subscribe on the way out.